It is the International Day of the Midwife, a day set aside to recognize the important contributions of this group of nurses towards the health care of the pregnant mother and safe delivery of the child. And with the negative indices of mortality arising from unsafe maternity and child delivery services, arising from patronizing unregistered midwives, on Panorama today, we'll take a look at the issues of promoting safe motherhood across the country. These and more will be up. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ruth Aguele. President Bola Tinubu is expected to meet with power generation companies, GENCOs, to resolve the lingering debt of 4 trillion naira owed the utility companies by the government, which is threatening stability of the power sector. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabo, in a statement, says the proposed meeting with the president demonstrates federal government's commitment to paying the debt in cash and other instruments. Already, the power minister met with chairman of the generation companies in a bid to avert imminent shutdown of operations. The power generating companies had threatened to shut down operations if the debt is not paid. But the minister promised GENCOs that government will prioritize immediate payment of a significant amount of the 4 trillion naira, while the balance will be defrayed through other debt instruments. He assures of payment of the outstanding balance within 6 months through financial instruments such as promissory notes. In other news, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule says the economic reforms initiated by President Bola Tinubu have significantly improved revenue at the sub-nationals and reset the country for sustainable growth. At a stakeholders engagement in Lafia, Governor Sule assured that the sub-nationals will use the increased revenue to improve lives of the people and fix infrastructure deficit. Aliyu Tijani reports.
It's a convergence of people across all strata of the society, with Minister of Women Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, former Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami, and former Governor of the state Senator Umaru Tanko Almakura, among others in attendance, as issues of leadership and development top agenda of discussion. The convergence is also to celebrate Secretary to the State Government, Labaran Shaibu Magaji.
We are commending the President Aswaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu for what he's doing. That's why some people are trying to take away some of our people, some of the good people. When they check and see a good person is there, they want to take him away. When they see this one, they want to take you away. You are not taking Malame away. He is going to be with us. He is not going anywhere.
Nasarawa State holds an immense potential with its strategic location, the rich natural endowments, and the youthful population. It is well positioned to become a model of inclusive growth and innovation.
To everyone gathered here today, your presence is a powerful affirmation of our shared values of excellence in governance.
Conversations revolves around leadership recruitment across all strata of government as speakers identify integrity, vision, capacity as some of the requirements needed in leadership recruitment, which Nigerians must look out for during elections. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
On security, Nigeria Police Force continues to record major breakthroughs in its fight against crime through intelligence-led operations nationwide. A statement by the force notes that in separate incidents, operatives neutralized 3 notorious bandits, rescued 2 kidnapped victims, arrested 9 suspected kidnappers, and recovered a significant cache of arms and stolen vehicles. The statement added that in Benue State, police operatives acting on credible intelligence engaged a group of bandits in a gun battle near the Ser-Gondo axis in Sankira. The suspects linked the Shito and Ukum areas were reportedly planning attacks on security agents. 3 bandits sustained fatal injuries and later died in the hospital. Recovered from the scene were 2 locally made firearms and live cartridges. Similarly, in Delta State, the CP's Special Assignment Team arrested a suspected serial car snatcher, Henry Okpo, and recovered a pump-action gun and 2 suspected stolen vehicles. In a separate operation, 2 confirmed cultists, Mudiaga Okparume and Arinze Humbo, were apprehended with Beretta pistols and ammunition. Following a kidnapping in Agbaro on April 26, operatives rescued 2 victims from Uviama Forest, arrested 9 suspects, and recovered multiple firearms and cartridges. Due to the infrastructure deficit in the health sector, not just in Nigeria but across Africa, well, many pregnant women prefer to patronize private health care practitioners, particularly the midwives. You know them as the midwives, who also assist in childbirth. But while it is seemingly cheap to patronize independent midwives and nurses, experts have outlined its dangers as unsafe motherhood from unsafe child delivery, which poses significant dangers. I'll just list some of them. Severe bleeding, shock, from improper treatment, infection, organ damage, complications during the delivery, obstetric fistula, death of the mother and the infant, and even long-lasting disabilities. Now, tragically, these unsafe conditions contribute to hundreds of thousands of preventable maternal deaths annually. So we want to have a conversation around that, and we have in the studio Mrs. Grace Oyakire. She is a registered nurse, a registered midwife, a health educator. Thank you very much for joining us, Mrs. Oyakire.
Thank you, Ruth.
All right.
It
is the International Day for midwife. How significant is this day for the midwives, the registered midwives, and also for motherhood?
Today, the 5th of May, every year, has been marked for the International Day of the Midwife. This is because of the work that the midwife has done, and which is as old as humanity. The midwives are actually very skilled. Maybe I should even start by defining who the midwife is, because that will help us to put so many things, right. A midwife is a person that has gone through a training, and this training is it goes with a kind of a prescribed, competencies, and these competencies are given by the ICM. ICM is International Confederation of Midwives in Huge. These competencies are laid down and followed according to various countries and are given to training schools that are used in teaching such a person. And then such a one should have also graduated from such school and is given a recognition by the council of that country. And the person will have attached to the name ROM. The person will be licensed to practice in that country, in a particular country. It could be that the person was trained in another country, but if you want to practice in another country where you were not trained, you have to, go through some other essential training in the country where you want to practice, and then before you can practice.
Okay.
And by and by, the person now have, grow to have competency in midwifery.
I like your choice of word, incompetence, because I'm sure you're aware, Mrs. Oyakire, they are quacks. And which is why a lot of people don't believe that the midwives, are modern or educated or have, that knowledge to handle childbirth. A lot of midwives, from cases reported, this old generation of our mothers passing down the skills, to the next generation. So some of them don't really go through the right practice. How would you respond to that?
Beautiful. In our profession, we have quacks. It's not different from what you have in nursing and midwifery. as long as you have not gone through the training. Even if you are a nurse and you've not gone through the midwifery courses, you are not a midwife. And you cannot practice midwifery. If you do that, you are going against the law. The midwife has been exposed to certain things, certain practices, certain attitude. You know, if you see the midwife that has been trained, her attitude differs from the one that is not, from the quack. A quack is somebody, I don't know who teaches them. Some of them are being taught by quacks themselves because they never had that opportunity to have these essential competencies downloaded to them through any training. And they were not licensed. I remember sometimes in Lagos, a lady, supposed nurse, they said she was a nurse and she was busy swapping babies for people. When they went to the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to check, she was not registered. So a midwife is not just somebody that wears the white or wears a uniform. A midwife has to go through the training. A midwife has to, you know, be compassionate. She has to have that care. She has to communicate. She has to be able to know, to have a versatile skill, which she has been taught, you know, in the school. And with that, she will be able to reduce maternal mortality rate. Without that, what we call quacks, they are just there to increase maternal mortality rate. I am not surprised that in most countries, the maternal mortality rate is rising, like in Nigeria.
So, Mrs. Oyakire,
yes,
if you're aware, if the council is aware that there are quacks in the system, what are they doing to fish out these quacks? Because lives are involved, and a lot of people, when they see the easy way, maybe there's a midwife in the area and they can't afford to pay medical bills in the hospital, they just opt for that option.
Yes.
So what is the council doing to address this?
Thank you very much, Ruth. It's not just the council that is handling the putting the corrective measures. The council has a legal unit that handles that. For instance, in each state, the state has a kind of a monitoring unit, like FCT has a monitoring unit. It's called what do you call it now? FEMC. You know, they go about from hospital to hospital, checking to ensure that the nurses or midwives that work in such hospitals are registered with the council. And that's what council does too. In bigger establishment, the council goes about doing that. If there's a report that a particular hospital is operating with quacks, quack nurses, quack midwives, the council come into it and they arrest them. They close down such hospitals. It's not allowed.
So, and we get to see this maternal mortality rate more in rural areas, even in the urban centers. What message do you have for mothers out there, you know, to seek the right and appropriate medical care while also speaking to the midwives to make their prices, that's for those, and there's a question from my producer, the affordability, because some of them, the ones who are registered, they charge very high. She shared her experience with me. So
beautiful. Ruth, just yesterday I was discussing with some people and I asked them, some of, you know, we have, Nigeria operates the 3 tiers of health, the primary, secondary, and the tertiary, you know, and all these ones, their prices differ. And they are very close to the people. And that's what is also obtainable even outside this country. You know, the primary health care setting, sorry to say they're on strike right now, but those people are doing well. I have had cause to work with them at one point or the other. You know, they are the one closer to the people. I was talking with one of them yesterday, and she said to register for antenatal is just 2,500, you know, and the delivery is 10,000. And then visitation, you know, when you come to visit, small money is collected from you. That is at the primary health care center, which is closer to the common person. At the secondary health center, also, I spoke with another person yesterday, just before I came, And their bills to antenatal is about 50,000. They said they just increase it because of what is happening, you know, worldwide. So the prices differ. There are levels you can go to depending on who you are, on your financial strength. So please, I want to use this opportunity to beg our mothers, because you are precious to us. Try as much as possible, come to the right place. Go to the primary health care center close to you. Go to the hospitals close to you in all levels. And then we have private hospitals too that are indeed, you know, they employ nurses that are registered. They are there. You could walk in there to see them. Because no private hospital that is approved in certain areas, like in FCT, I work in FCT, so I knew all these ones. They cannot operate with quacks. Okay. Those ones operating with quacks are hiding to do that. Don't go to them. Love your life. Don't go to them. And I will also say that the government should, as much as possible, try to support. In fact, I should thank them for all the support so far, for them to put all these structures, all these tiers on ground, that if you cannot go to primary, you go to secondary, you go to tertiary, you know, if you are referred.
Mrs. Grace Oyakire, will continue to, you know, lend our voices for the advocacy, because lives are precious, especially for that innocent child that didn't ask to be born. Thank you very much for coming on Panorama.
Thank you.
Let's ponder on those thoughts. We'll be back after the break. Thanks for being there. And talking politics, former speakers of various state houses of assembly elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party have declared firm support for the party's legal efforts to reclaim mandates from elected officials who defected after winning elections on its platform. This formed part of resolutions reached after the forum's emergency meeting in Abuja. Let's hear from Timothy Yusuf.
State of the People's Democratic Party topped the agenda of this meeting, convened by the Forum of former PDP speakers of Houses of Assembly. The forum expressed unreserved backing of PDP's resolve to challenge the legality of such defections in court, including the high-profile case of the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oborowori, and others in line with the position earlier articulated by the party's National Working Committee.
We in the forum urge the party as a matter of urgency to organize a national retreat to major stakeholders of the party across the country to discuss way forward.
On internal party matters, the forum urged the PDP to remain resolute in its plans to hold its national convention as scheduled. Calling on PDP lawmakers in the National Assembly to present a united front, the forum emphasized the need for the opposition to function more robustly. The forum also raised concerns about the security situation in the country, citing the violence and attacks in Benue, Plateau, and Borno states. It extended condolences to victims and affected communities, calling for urgent federal intervention. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
A delegation from Ghana, headed by its Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Okpoto, is in Kebbi State to explore partnership opportunities in Nigeria's agricultural potential, particularly in rice production. Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
Kebbi State is well known for its massive agricultural production, particularly rice, cultivated in 14 out of 21 local government areas. The state's agricultural potential extends beyond Nigeria to sub-Saharan Africa, which has now drawn neighboring Ghana's officials, headed by its Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Okpoto, to Kebbi State to explore partnership in rice production to enhance Ghana's rice sufficiency.
It's a process of learning. At every stage, you learn and then you improve upon your performance. And so if Nigeria has a story worth learning, then we should come and then look at it, listen to the people, interact with the beneficiary farmers.
The Kebbi State Deputy Governor, Senator Umar Abubakar, received the Ghanaian delegation on behalf of the state governor and assuring sustained collaboration that will benefit both Nigeria and Ghana.
This kind gesture demonstrates the strong bond of friendship and cooperation between our two nations. I'm happy to inform you that Kebbi State, the highest producer of rice and wheat in Nigeria.
This partnership is expected to open new doors for collaboration in other areas of development. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
The issue of climate change has continued to be a subject of discussion on possible ways of mitigating its impact on humanity and the society. Well, in pursuance of this mitigating effort for environmental stability, the Federal Road Safety Corps, Bayelsa State Sector Command, in collaboration with tree planters, launched a tree planting campaign in Yenagoa. Baratuapire Awe will tell us more.
The tree planting campaign, which took place at the Federal Road Safety Corps Command Office in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, drew the attention of key environmental stakeholders, signaling a renewed commitment to environmental conservation in Bayelsa State, with stakeholders reflecting on a broader recognition of the need for urgent and unified action to address the climate crisis. In line with the theme of the 2025 World Environment Day, Ending Plastic Pollution, Our Land, Our Future, necessitated the Federal Road Safety Corps Bayelsa Sector Command to embark on the tree planting exercise and the clearing of plastic waste from drainages. The exercise emphasized the pressing need for joint effort to confront climate-related challenges, which is a serious global concern threatening human survival.
Let them know why we are planting trees, and we pray to that they will sustain this tempo in their own time too. Even from right now, they begin to plant trees that will benefit future generations.
The whole world is suffering from the ecosystem, and today I have joined my friends to plant trees and also pick all the debris of plastic from the environment.
Tree planting plays a crucial role in restoring ecological balance and improving public health. We hope this campaign ignites a wider environmental consciousness and encourages communities across the state and beyond to join in the movement. In Yenagoa, Baratuapire Awe, NTA News.
Issues described as a major blow to transactional smuggling networks. The Nigerian Customs Service has announced seizures worth over 921 billion naira at the Apapa Command in Lagos. While tightening enforcement, the service is also extending a hand of goodwill to vulnerable communities.
The seizure of 5 40-foot and 2 20-foot containers loaded with unregistered pharmaceuticals, some falsely declared as cosmetics, expired food items and unauthorized drones lacking valid end-user certificates is a major move to check dangerous importations that threaten public health and national security.
Reference is hereby made to our ongoing collaboration with critical regulatory agencies, including but not limited to NAFDAC, NDLA, and the Office of the National Security Advisors. These collaborations operate under established memoranda of understanding and joint operational frameworks that have demonstrably enhanced our enforcement capacities.
According to the Comptroller General, intelligence-led operations across ports have also led to narcotic seizures by over 34% in the first quarter of year 2025. In addition to enforcing the law, the Nigerian Customs is also carrying out humanitarian initiative in a community under Amuodofin local government area of Lagos State.
We have brought exercise books, textbooks, school bags, and sandals for all the students of this school.
The Nigerian Customs Service says it remains committed to enforcing regulations with heightened vigilance while fostering positive change within local communities. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jubo, NTA News.
And that's Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a beautiful day ahead. I'm Ruth Aguilera.